His Excellency, the President of the Republic of Uganda, and Mama Kataha Museveni, the Mother of the Nation, Her Excellency, the Vice President of the Republic of Uganda, the visiting Right Honorable Speakers of the East African Community, His Lordship, the Chief Justice, the Right Honorable Deputy Speaker of Parliament of Uganda, the Right Honorable Prime Minister of Uganda, Honorable Ministers, members of the Diplomatic Corps, my colleagues, the Honorable Members of Parliament of Uganda in the 11th Parliament, members of the family of the late Jacob Oulanya Lokori, the clergy, the different families that the Right Honorable Oulanya belonged to, that include the Bikers Association, the Rotary, the Religious Fellowship Associations, ladies and gentlemen. The country learned with profound shock the sadness of the tragic death of my brother, friend, mentor, Right Honorable Jacob Oulanya, a Speaker of the 11th Parliament, which occurred on 20th March 2022. For us who had had an opportunity to work with him, he had very different attributes that included being a man full of humor, full of energy. He had the zeal and executed his duties with the utmost diligence and dedication. We shall greatly miss Jacob. Our sincere condolences go to the President of the Republic of Uganda for the loss of his son, and to Mama on the loss of Jacob. I saw how Mama was depressed. I still recall the call you made when we were in Seattle, and you said you don't believe in the medical report. You believe Jacob is going to be fine. We know what you're going through, what the country is going through. We all appreciate, and we are all going through that. May God heal your heart, Mama. I also want to thank the President and the SEC members for making Jacob achieve his dream, for fulfilling the 2011 promise, the 2016 promise of Jacob becoming the Speaker of Parliament of Uganda. Jacob has died a happy man. As you're all aware, the supreme law of the land of the Constitution, we are bound by the provisions of the Constitution not to hold any sitting of Parliament when the seat of the Speaker is vacant. That is under Article 82 of the Constitution of Uganda. We were therefore forced to have election before we could mourn and bury our friend, our leader, a father, a brother, a mentor, and my twin brother. This is against our cultural beliefs as true Africans. That is being insensitive. But as said before by the church, we as Parliament, we are going to correct that law. Your Excellency, the Bible says, we shall know them by their works. and indeed the whole nation, friends within and outside the country, are mourning Jacob. And they are mourning Jacob because of his works. I still want to repeat, my colleagues from Kenya, Right Honorable Muturi, we want to thank you so much for coming. Your Excellency, Honorable Muturi is also a presidential candidate. I also want to thank my sister Tulia, the Speaker of Tanzania. Thank you so much for loving Uganda and loving Jacob. And I want to thank my sister Gemma. Thank you so much for loving Jacob and loving Uganda. Uganda is a part of Africa. I want to thank Your Excellency for doing everything humanly possible to save the life of Jacob. You supported in medical evacuation the treatment of this servant of this country, but then God had a different plan, and we must unfortunately accept it. Thank you so much, Your Excellency, for that kind heart. Thank you so much, Mama. We must really say thank you, thank you. We can't thank you enough. The nation has lost a great patriot, a nationalist, a Pan-Africanist, who always worked to see development not only in his constituency, but in this country as Uganda and Africa as a whole. The Right Honorable Oulanya Jacob wholeheartedly participated in the negotiation to restore peace in the northern Uganda between the government of Uganda and the Lord Resistance Army, despite the risks that were involved. He risked his own life to secure peace in this country, and we must applaud him for that, and we will miss such negotiation skills. On the international scene, the contribution of Honorable Jacob Oulanya can be seen from the outpouring condolences that we have received. We've received a number of condolence messages from all over the world on the passing of Jacob. He made a great contribution on international bodies, especially the African, Caribbean, Pacific, European Union, ACP-EU, to which he led a delegation of Uganda during his time of Deputy Speaker in the 9th and 10th Parliament. He was a great champion of human rights. And Deputy Speaker, you need to take on as a Deputy Speaker, because like Jacob led this as a Deputy Speaker. We want you to make us proud. Your Excellency, Right Honorable Jacob Oulanya respected humanity. He espoused the principle of Ubuntu, literal meaning, I am because we are, and since we are, I am. He always wanted everybody to be respected, regardless of their status or origin. He never wanted anyone to be treated unfairly. Colleagues, if we can learn to live with this principle that he cherished, his soul would rest in peace. I remember what one of the members of parliament said yesterday, that Jacob was one of the persons who respected women. I remember when you had a meeting with him and he told you that, Your Excellency, if the person who was disturbing him was a woman, was a fellow man, they would have sorted out their things. But that was a sign of respect to women. We must thank him for that. For the several times Right Honorable Jacob chaired the House, He made sure that every member who had an issue to raise was heard. A good example is when a member sought leave of Parliament to introduce a private member's bill. He would always remind the House that it's a constitutional right for every member to be given a right to raise a private member's bill, and which we need to emulate on what he started. Right Honorable Oulanya leaves us, but has left an outstanding legacy. The legacy that he has left: he was a very good timekeeper, very unmatched timekeeper. 2 is 2 for entering the House. Even if there is one member of Parliament, he would always be in the House at that time. Your Excellency, yesterday we paid tribute as Parliament of Uganda. We had almost all members of Parliament of Uganda in the House. And we made a resolution that for us to promote the legacy of the Right Honorable Jacob Oulanya, the Speaker of Parliament Emeritus, Parliament agreed to contribute to the foundation, to the Education Foundation Fund, and we agreed to contribute 554 million shillings to the foundation account, which money is going to be managed by the Chief Justice. As he had already said, there is a foundation account. We agreed as members of Parliament who love Jacob, not as Parliament, members of Parliament. We also passed a resolution yesterday that since it is the first time we are losing a sitting speaker, we made a resolution that we should have 23rd March of every year as a day of Jacob Oulanya Memorial Lecture. And that was passed in the House, and we promise that we shall always have that lecture and in memory of Jacob Oulanya. Your Excellency, sir, we want to promise you, I and my Deputy Speaker, we know you had a lot of hopes in the 11th Parliament. We will not disappoint you. We will work and finish the vision that Honorable Jacob Oulanya has left behind. We will make sure we work and fulfill the vision of Jacob Oulanya of making sure that Parliament of Uganda is a people-centered parliament, is a parliament that debates on evidence-based. With all those words I've said, Your Excellency, I have the noble honor to kindly request you to come and address the nation on the loss of your son, the Right Honorable Speaker of Parliament, and may the soul of the Right Honorable Speaker rest in eternal peace.